We are based out of Bharuch and our firm is known as Furna Akrit. We are into practice since last 25 years now. Our entire work from 2015 is enrooted to glorify the wisdom that prevails in our country through our designs. That is what has been the core philosophy. Recently, survey published by Architizer, we are the third best architectural firm of our country. So it's really a proud moment that we are experiencing as of now. There was this beautiful competition that was launched by the IDEC organizers of Art Elation. Somehow we thought that whatever the artwork that we had prepared, it would be a nice platform to really participate in and portray. We sent our entry and got selected for the final representation over here. So there we are with our art installation.
Would you like to tell us what you are showcasing here?
Yeah, certainly. There was this competition by CPWD, and on the central vista, the central spine goes and meets river Yamuna. And there where it meets, there is this Navbharat Udyana. And in that Navbharat Udyana, they had given us a 99-meter diameter site to propose an iconic structure which would glorify and commemorate and celebrate the 75 years of our independence. One of the most strongest brief was that the structure had to have a shelf-life of 2000 years. In lieu of the same, we started designing, since we work a lot with Indian classical music and architecture, which we call it as musitecture, the approach that we took up to make this sculpture was that the entire cosmos, the sound of the cosmos is Omkara, the Om Nada. And our rishis have been great enough to decipher that there are 12 distinct sounds that the ear can hear very clearly and they can decipher it very well. And this being the 7 Shuddha Swara like Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Dha Ni, and then the 5 other Vakra Swaras. In total, these are 12 Swaras which are there and which a human ear can perceive, a normal human ear can perceive these sounds very clearly. So, entire music of the world is made out of these 12 Swaras. Since everything that exists because of sound, vibrates and vibration results into all the formation of the geometric structures that are there. So as we started looking to this, and so if I may sing, Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Dha Ni Sa Sa Ni Dha Pa Ma Ga Re Sa. So what I sang, now Sa Ni Dha Pa. So now I'm going to a lower octave. What I sang was Madhya Saptak. And now if I may go higher, so Sa Re Ga Ma Pa Dha Ni Sa Re Ga. So I'm going to this higher octave. So we call this as Mandra Saptak, Madhya Saptak and Tar Saptak. These are the 3 Saptaka which we also have in the harmonium. And a piano would consist of 5 of this Ati Mandra and Ati Tar Saptaka also. So here, while we were doing this sculpture, we have taken the Mandra, Madhya and Tar. So in total 3 Saptakas, each having 12 Swaras. So in total 36 Swaras. So these 36 Swaras, we took up 36 rings, and these 36 rings were further divided by 12 parts. And where this Sa, Sa or Re, Re, where they coordinate, we started joining these dots to make a beautiful helical geometry that started coming in. And while we evolved these circles in height, so a helical 3-dimensional geometry started to come up. And what you see in here, the half of the sculpture that we see is the 36 circles, and then we flipped it. So when we flipped it, it completed the whole geometry, and we as a firm entirely, while we saw this figurine, the way it came up, everybody was overjoyous that why we don't know, but we started liking what had come about. And then we realized that this is one of the most primordial basic form of the human existence. In fact, existence of the creation, I would say. Because as you see the DNA structure, it is this. the nature, when it forms the conch or shankha as we call, if we cut out the section of that also through the sound vibration, it makes this particular helical geometry as we see here. So while we derived this geometry, it was no wonder that it is a part of our human experience. So it was a very natural consequence. And when it came to this one, so this entire sculpture is a representation of I would say that the life begins from nothingness or completeness, and the life ends in nothingness or completeness. But midway through, so as life begins, you are a kid, you are a youth, you achieve the adulthood, you grow old, and then you perish back. So this is entirely what you see is a sculpture. It's a representation of the life, the birth to the death, the entire process. And midway through, while you are born, while you take this birth, the push and pull of the life is this strings. They suggest the same, that this push and pull are the processes that every human passes through, this tension in their life. But the one who achieves this sthirata, the balance into this push and pull, achieves a magnetic state of the nirvana, the moksha or enlightenment. He is alleviated to that state, and that is what we have shown over here. This central piece that you see is almost 200 kgs, and which is in air, supported by 3 rings, which also symbolizes the 3 tricolor of our flag. And also the central piece suggests the Ashok Chakra that we have into our flag. So since competition was of a national level and it had to portray India, so this is the way we have portrayed it. Magically, the entire installation, the way it had to happen, I think Jignesh Bhai Dodia, who has his firm in the name of Om Engineering Works from Surat, actually made it a possibility and realized this sculpture the way we had envisaged. So yeah, this is what is the story behind our sculpture.